It's time for Maggie and the Moms. Sponsored by Tampa General Hospital. Hey mamas, are there things that you do or say that make you wonder, gosh, am I the only one who's doing this? I'm sure that there are many things, and your list is probably pretty long. We are going to be asking those questions that we were always afraid to ask but always wondered about today here on the podcast, and we're so happy to welcome Katie Krimitsos, the founder of the Women's Meditation Network of Podcasts. How many podcasts are you up to?
20 podcasts.
How many downloads? Is that the right question?
Yeah, lifetime downloads, almost 190 million.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. You are doing something right. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Katie is a mother of 2 young girls. Bree Gorecki is here. She's a contributor to Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine, as am I. Woo, woo, woo. She is also mom to Brendan, who's in studio today. And Brendan is turning 11 on Monday.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Oof, I don't know. I mean, he was turning a year old yesterday, so
I know.
in middle school.
Oh,
That's a big
good
summer
luck
of
with
change.
that. Good luck
Thank
with
you.
that.
Yeah.
Deanna Moore at the helm as always. Hola, amiga.
Hi. Hola.
Siempre te hablo en español, no sé por qué.
No, nunca. Yo necesito practicar mi español.
Exacto. Deanna is a mother of 2, and she is the executive producer at Daytime, which is the show that I host here in Tampa, Florida, along with Farron Hep. All right, ladies, am I the only one who, blank, blank, dot, 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 who wants to go first? Who's the brave soul?
I'll go. I'll
right,
share
Katie.
a little.
Yay,
This
Katie.
is a little funny snippet that reminded me from
Start
this weekend.
everything with, am I the only one who?
Am I the only one who ugly cries every time I watch the Bluey episode where they almost sell their house? Am I the only one? Ugly cries.
Didn't you tell me that, Deanna?
You guys.
I was telling you that all the people were crying because
okay.
your kids are out of Bluey
Yes.
stage. My
They're
kids are
out of
now
Bluey
out of Bluey
stage.
I've
stage.
never seen
But-
Bluey.
Oh my gosh.
so
Do yourself a
cute.
favor. It is meant for parents equally as
It's so
well for
good.
kids.
We've
It's
talked about this
so
before.
Good.
Yes, we have.
It's
so
so
you
good.
ugly cry.
Like my kids wait for it. They're, Mom, are you crying yet? And I'm like, stop. It's so meaningful and tender and just gets to the soul of every parent who is trying to like make decisions on behalf of their family and what's best for them, and also for what's best for them in their career. And it's just, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it. It's so beautiful.
Don't feel bad because I always cry at the end of Toy Story 3 when Andy is saying goodbye to his toys because he's going. I'm not kidding.
I've cried at that
the
moment.
end of that, I haven't seen that
not
Bluey
easy.
episode,
Oh
but
my
the end of
gosh.
Toy Story 3 when Andy is getting rid of the toys and passing them along to the other girl and he's saying goodbye and thank you. I'm like, why? Make it just so yeah. You're not
I
the only
ugly
one.
cry every time without fail when I watch Marley and Me.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Don't get me started. I won't.
I can't take it.
I can't.
All right, Deanna, confession. Do you ugly cry watching anything? So you're the only one who never ugly cries. There you go. You
Not
found it.
in movies and TV shows. I have a black heart.
A commercial?
No.
A song?
I'm trying to think. Have I ever cried at a song? No.
Wow.
We got to break this girl.
Yeah. The movie.
Come watch Bluey with me.
I have a question.
Go.
All right, so we have to watch that Bluey episode to be able to answer the question. But I think the answer is no, you're not the only one, based on the fact that we've talked about it on Maggie and the Moms before, based on an article that was all about people who ugly cried during that episode. So there you go. You're not the only one. All right, Bree, you're next.
Oh my goodness. So am I the only one? This is a strange thing with me, but I have a very big fear of alligators. Terrifying. I have an 8-footer in my pond outside my house
Well,
right now.
I understand why.
It is terrifying. And I have this fear, and my husband is the type of person that he loves to go like outdoorsy canoeing and this and that. I refuse to let my kid go canoeing in a river or a lake in Florida because I'm terrified that one time he's going to get captured by an alligator. And my husband laughs at me. And I'm like, no, it is a general, like, it keeps me up thinking about, like, you're going camping. You're not going in that river. You're not going near that lake. You know, it's just a weird thing.
I wouldn't let my kid do it alone. But are you talking about not doing it at all or not doing
at
it
all,
alone?
at all.
Not
Like-
even with people, with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in there.
Oh, yeah.
You're not
But
alone.
yeah, it's
Well,
like
I-
weird
the
whenever
thoughts definitely
he wants
come
to
in,
go do
yeah.
outdoorsy things and he wants to go do, let's go kayaking or we're going to go, tubing. I have this fear. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that one time there's going to be an alligator in the water. And it's like, it actually gives me anxiety.
I get the anxiety part of it. I always tell my kids, any body of water in Florida, even though you're nowhere, like it's not the bay, it's a pond, it's a puddle. There could be an alligator. How would it get there though? It would. It could cross that street, and you know, because kids are like that.
Yep.
But yes, I share that fear. Maybe not to that extent, but I do share the fear of alligators.
Yeah,
Deanna,
terrified.
where are you on that one?
Am I the only one who worst case scenarios just about everything? I'm gonna give you an example.
Ooh, no.
When I was when I had my first child, I remember, and maybe this was like a little postpartum me, but I remember thinking like, okay, if I leave her in the kitchen, in the car seat by herself, somehow a knife is gonna like fall and then it's gonna careen across the kitchen and it's gonna stab her. You know what I mean? Like super crazy. I have anxiety. I see a therapist for it. But do you ever, am I the only one who worst case scenarios?
Well, Bree just answered that question with her last. Am I the only one? Oh my gosh, no.
No, not at all.
I think
Not at all.
maybe every mom in the world
100%.
has those thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, this whole podcast episode was inspired by a video I saw on TikTok or something about this woman who, I think it went viral, who was talking about how she is so afraid that she is going to drop dead in the middle of the day and not be found for days. And her 2 little children who are not tall enough to reach the counter will have died because they're so thirsty and they don't have access to food or water because they can't reach it because they're so little. So she intentionally like leaves it accessible every day, all day in case she dies. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
You're
All
not.
right.
We
you
can
are
go down
absolutely
that
not the
rabbit
only
hole
one.
with everything.
I have this though. I feel like irrational fear that like I would not move into my house before there was an alarm system installed in it because I have this irrational fear that my children are going to be kidnapped. Am I the only one?
No.
No, I think everybody
Yeah.
has that kidnapping fear.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have that a lot around like playgrounds and like
Yes.
public areas. And
Yep.
I still remember not so many years ago, a friend of ours had actually sent me an article about some dude, like some whatever thing happening at the at the International Plaza, like the kid area.
No way.
Yeah. And we used to go there all the time when the kids were young. And I was like, oh my God. And the next time we went there, I was like, my eyes were just darting everywhere. Like, is that the guy? Are they going to take him? You guys stay here. So like, I try not to be a helicopter parent, but I'm still like, where are my kids? Where are my kids? Where are my kids? All the time.
Oh, all the time.
And that conversation though, like I feel like every mom needs to have it repeatedly. You know, scenarios.
Yeah.
What if, you know, oh, I'm friends with your mom.
Yeah.
Oh, come see the
Yes.
puppy.
Yeah.
Come see my puppy.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, we have a code word.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a good idea.
Uh-huh. We have a code word. We have
like
2 code
that.
words. One for like the potential kidnapper, and one because we live in this day and age now that if somebody calls and says I've kidnapped your mother, that you have to give the code word
Oh, that's great.
because you know
That's a
like,
that is
great
such a
idea.
good
or it's like
takeaway.
hey, it's me because you know they can voice
Yes,
your voice.
yes.
Yeah,
that is
we
super
have 2
smart.
code words.
That is a good
Oh my
one.
gosh.
And also now, now the kidnapping fear, because my kids are a little bit older, and I don't know for some reason that fear has subsided a bit. But now it's the whole I'm afraid they're going to be stolen for sex trafficking.
Oh, girl, don't even get me started. That
I
churns
know,
my
I
stomach.
know.
Yeah.
But what do we do about that? Like, are we the problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We are
we are.
because
We
I try
are.
to tell myself when I'm having the most irrational thoughts, just
Yes.
use facts. And I no one believes this, but violent crime is way down.
Yeah.
Remember those days
Yeah.
of like Tuesday's Child? Those were the days in the 70s where kids are just got snatched off
Yeah.
the street. But now like crime is down
Yeah.
and policing is better.
Yeah.
But no mom will ever listen to
Right.
that.
No.
Our
Right.
brains don't
Right.
function that
You
way.
know
But
that-
I do force myself to let them do the thing that I'm scared to let them do because it's not fair.
Yes.
Because I'm scared that I'm not going to let you go ride your bike to Chick-fil-A with your friend in the middle of the day and you're accompanied and the odds are minuscule that something
But
will like
Chick-fil-A's
that'll
are always
happen.
on busy streets, so I understand what you're talking
Well,
about.
no, because there's a back way from my house that you don't have to go on actual Dale Mabry.
Okay.
You do have to cross a
Don't
busy
say streets. Don't say streets. Don't say
but
streets.
yeah, no, it's not. I don't live that close to it that people can figure out where my house is. But yes, so I let them because
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm not going to let my irrational fears get in the way of your
Yeah, it's smart.
independence, experiences.
They're going to need their independence eventually, but it is hard.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that's maternal instinct, parental instinct.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
know?
All right, Bree, give me another. Am I the only one who?
Oh my gosh, probably a more serious one. And I think at this age we're at right now, I'm so worried about him being bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
every
noticed
mom.
a very big transition from
gosh,
fourth to
yes.
fifth last year. And the kids change, and, he's more of a sensitive kid, which is fine. And, but I worry about every little, like, even, because he's not playing a certain game, or he's not into, the sports team, is he going to get bullied for that? Is he going to get bullied because of the shirt he wears or the thing he says? And I just, it hurts me, even though, nothing might have happened. I mean, we've had little instances of it where kids have been mean, but
Same,
I have
everybody,
this fear
yeah.
that he's going to be bullied, and I just send him off to school and think, oh my God, is he okay today? And it just, it's hard because you do see a transition at this age.
Yeah.
You
Not
do
the
middle
only
school.
one.
You're
Big
not the
time.
only one. That's
Yeah.
every single parent. And sadly, with good reason, because bullying is so prevalent. So all we can do is just, they have to know their worth, and they find their people.
Yeah.
And just recognize.
Which is another thing I worry about. Is he going to find,
He will find his
next
people.
year
Yeah.
at school,
He
is
will
he going to
find
find
his
his
people.
crew? Is he
Yes.
going to find someone to fit in? Yeah.
That's a big transition.
It's a huge transition.
It is very
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Bullying, quick story is that when my oldest daughter was in kindergarten, she was getting flat out bullied by one girl in particular, but ended up being like a group of mean girls. To make a very long story short, I swear by this book. Gabor Mate, who is a child psychologist, who wrote a book called Hold On to Your Child, something along those lines. I read it. I literally did everything he suggested, and it worked so well. And I swear by that, I have no fear of that, because I'm like, hey, like, I know what to do in those cases of, like, there's all this, what it really is, and like maintaining the bond between parent and child and all that sort of stuff, making sure they feel unconditional love in the home, and
Exactly right.
being able and
Exactly
having
right.
a secure sense of
So
self,
that
so they can
if
navigate
the child
that.
is bullied, which every child is likely
It's
to be,
when the
absolutely. Every
child is
single
going
child.
to,
Exactly.
they know
It's-
how to manage that. And I
Exactly.
saw it in real time work. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So I mean,
And if there are struggles, you can absolutely come out stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I keep telling myself when
Yeah.
my kids are going through something like that. I'm like, they feel loved, they feel safe. I know that this is going to serve them well somehow,
Yeah,
as
this
hard
too
as
shall
it seems
pass.
right now. All right, give me another one, Katie.
Okay, a little more on the serious side too. Am I the only one who worries, oh my God, I'm going to die in a car accident, and all of a sudden I'm not there unexpectedly?
That was mine.
And so what's now going to happen with the daily, I'm the CEO of our family. Like, I'm the CFO of our family. Like, what's going to happen with all those details?
Yes.
So what I did to make sure is I gave my sister the passwords to like the
that's a
thing
good
that she
idea.
needs, everything she needs to know to like manage that.
be the
I'm
new
like, make sure
CEO.
make sure Chris gets this stuff. Because Chris isn't going to remember it, right?
Okay.
Like, so I'm like, my sister has all this stuff to access whatever needs to be accessed as a just in case.
You're not the only one for sure, but you might be the only one who has taken that extra step, which I think now we should all take. Like, we should give somebody
Who's
all
that
our,
person?
We should give somebody all our passwords.
We need passwords and we need safe words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need
Oh,
safe
yes.
words.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you guys have a will?
Yes, that's what I
Yes.
was gonna say. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh.
really,
That's-
the way just get a will,
Yeah.
and
Get
then
a
when you
will.
do that,
Yes.
that helps a lot of stuff.
But what if
the
nobody
password-
knows your password?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
the
that's
will
a
is
different
not
story.
connected to my
That's-
passwords.
yeah.
Like, it's not. So it's like, here's the
such a
key.
great
Everything
one.
you need.
Yeah.
I have so many. Deanna, you go while I decide which one of the many I want to
Well,
say.
mine was basically that, but I'm gonna piggyback on this. Is more again my anxiety. I wake up in the middle of the night when you can't sleep, and all moms can't sleep. We all have like mom insomnia. Let's like
100%.
trademark that momsomnia.
100%.
So when I have momsomnia, the first thing that pops in my head is, what happens when I die? And then I start
Yes.
thinking of like you said, we do everything. I
Right.
mean, I can't talk for all marriages, but in my marriage, I'm like, I do all the things. Will my husband remember this, and this? Should I do like videos for him? Should
my
I
gosh.
do, you know what but have I executed this?
That's
no.
funny, though. Do that.
Tonight, this is going to pop in my head again at 3:00 in the morning. Will I execute
Let's add it to the book.
Absolutely.
Deanna and I have a book downstairs. It's not a book, literal book, but a figurative book about all our great ideas that we have that we've never do anything with. But that's a good one. Videos, in case I die. Watch this. And they think it's going to be some sweet, I just want you to know I've loved you so much. All right, here's how you make dinner. Here's how you take
Here's all these little millions of little details it takes to
gonna be
manage
like,
this family.
Don't
No.
forget, we needed to cancel the guitar. You have to call this person. It's like, yeah, no. It's,
yes. And pay tuition and do this. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All the things.
Momsomnia is real, and that fear of dying and what will my family do, so real.
Yeah.
So real. All right. I don't know, guys. I have too many. I don't know which one to go with. Here, Katie, take my list. Pick one at
here
random.
we go.
This is me. Maggie.
All right, Maggie. Are you the only one who leaves the house every day certain that you forgot to turn off the stove or close the door? My mother-in-law is just like that.
Okay,
No,
so
I don't worry
it's
about
an
that,
older
but-
person thing?
No, that's not what I meant.
It is.
It's definitely like she's very OCD stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an OCD person.
Yeah.
I'm driving to work every day and thinking, should I turn around to make sure that I turned off the stove? Because if someone's home, I will call, be like, hey, Mike, can you check if I
How many times a week do you call him?
very frequently. Can you make sure that I fill in the blank? So on this panel, I'm the only one.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, but that's not uncommon.
It's
no.
okay.
I mean, I've
It's
done
all
it in
right.
like rush moments.
Yeah.
You know, like is the garage door shut?
Yeah.
You know, call a neighbor, make sure it is.
All
but-
right. I'll give you another one. Am
Yeah.
I the only one who... Oh, I don't know if I want to admit that one.
Oh, come on. That's the juicy one.
Who curses in front of my teenagers?
Oh,
Oh, you're definitely not the
no,
only
you're
one.
not the only one.
You're not the
No.
only one. I don't have
No.
teenagers, so I
Yeah,
can't say.
know
But
that.
no, you're definitely not.
I mean, we never, ever did when they were little.
Yeah.
But when, I don't know, it just kind of happened one day. I said, it's okay to say my first whatever in front of them. And the shock was like,
Oh my gosh.
I don't make it a habit. We're not that family that in the house will curse all the time. But if one slips out, I don't freak out.
Oh no,
Right?
I mean, he hears worse stuff at school. I
Yeah.
think so. I'm
100%.
All right, Katie, you have another one?
Yes. Am I the only one that desperately needs alone time on the daily? On the daily.
Look at this.
You guys. Yep. Someone just wants to be alone.
nope. You're not.
This is for two reasons. Number one is I feel like I was a very extroverted person growing up. And the moment I had kids, slowly but surely I've become more introverted. And I think it's because my kids get so much of my extroversion. Like I'm on with them. And so there's a part of that just needs the introvert needs alone time in order to nourish again. So I desperately need that. Sometimes it's only 15 minutes a day, but I mean, it gets to the point where if I don't get enough of that, I will tell my husband, I need a Katie retreat. I need to go away.
I remember
Yeah,
you
yeah,
telling
yeah.
us about
Love
that.
that.
Solo
Katie
retreats.
She goes off alone somewhere. I wish I had
Just
Katie
do it.
retreats.
No,
I
no,
don't
you
do
just
it.
make it.
I
You make
feel,
them.
I feel guilty wanting to be alone.
no.
No, I do not. I do not because, well, the second thing though is that we are so like physically, especially now kids are in summer schedule, which means they're at the house all the time. They're, they're not at camps. They're just here. And it's like, get off of me. Get out, like in my face. Not all the time, but like they
yes,
have
of
days that they're
course.
like that where I'm like, I can't escape you. Get away.
Right. Well, but that's why another great Katie idea, which I have also done, is you send your kids off to a different mom summer camp every week. Like somebody hosts camp at their house or hosts camp, like is in charge of a boatload of kids for the whole week so that you can have your alone time. We did that a lot when my kids were little.
Yeah, this is the first summer I'm really implementing it. We just had Camp Kremitzos last week, and it wasn't perfect, but it was a start, and it worked. So instead of like 5 days, it was like I think people came over 3 days out of the week because everyone kind of actually was like, we need a
that's
break,
still
right?
great. Yeah.
But it was great. But I haven't had it reciprocated to me yet. But even them at my house, if another mother would stay, I was like, can I just go run
Yeah,
and do
exactly.
something real
Yeah, I
quick?
love
It was
that.
so great.
I think I have one.
You have one?
Yeah. Am I the only one who doesn't feel bad delegating things to my husband? Like
Oh my
today is your
God.
day to cook. Today
I
you
feel
need
bad.
to take your kids to take the kids to this thing, or you're going to do this thing because I do 90% of the things.
Dude, that's
don't
a
feel bad
second
anymore.
piece of
I
wisdom
feel
that you've
kinda
shared
bad,
today that I
but-
need to implement.
I don't feel bad.
And I don't know why I feel kind of bad because when I do ask, he does it willingly.
Right.
So
Yeah.
why
Exactly.
is it? What does it say about me that I feel
Inherent
bad?
guilt that we have. It's
Woman
just
guilt?
Woman guilt,
No.
mom guilt.
Mom guilt.
Yeah,
I think it's
society.
also control.
Momsomnia and mom guilt are real.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And momxiety.
Momxiety.
I have that for sure. My mom was like, I had
momxiety.
asked my husband to take a kid to the restroom or something to do something. And she was like, you're not going to go? And I was like, why? He is capable of taking a child to the restroom. He can stand outside or if it's the, same stall thing. Why do we I have 2 girls, so I know what her brain was
Yes,
doing.
exactly.
But still it's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And he's a parent too. He's not babysitting them.
Can I tell you what is game changing? my husband is so tuned in to how I'm feeling and how I'm doing that he will say it before I have to ask him. Oftentimes,
well done.
Do you want us to just order out tonight?
Nice.
You know, because this is another one. Am I the only one who wishes that dinner could just be like a grilled cheese or a bowl of cereal? Because I don't want to cook every day.
Or if there's
and I don't want to spend the money on eating out either.
Yeah.
Can I tell you how we've eaten all this week? Because my girls are at sleepaway camp.
Yeah.
Because I said to my mother again, who was like, "You should cook some steak." My poor mom. And I was like, "No,
Your mom doesn't talk like that.
No, of course not. That's how we always how we talk about teenage boys. Teenage boys don't talk like that.
It's true.
I said, now I might have like some cereal. I might like make a salad. I'm not going to make a, what was that like meal that we used to have to do, like the meat, the potatoes.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not doing that because it's just me and my husband.
No food pyramid
No
rules.
food pyramid. Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah. All right. Who else has one? I have a funny one.
Go.
Am I the only one who leaves leftovers in the fridge way past their expiration date because I just don't feel like washing that dang
You
container?
are not the only one.
I'm not
I
the
do
only
that quite often.
I mean, I looked at that leftover lasagna last night. I'm like, gosh, that was 2 weeks ago. And I still didn't take it out because I feel like it's cold, so it's probably not going to rot and stink up my fridge. And I don't want to wash that because that tomato sauce is impossible to get off, even if you're just putting it in the dishwasher.
I don't have the time for that right now. I sometimes will shove it in back so it gets frozen.
Oh.
I'm like, if I can't see it, I don't need to worry about it.
Have you ever found a science experiment in your fridge?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I haven't. I've actually thrown containers away, like Tupperware containers, because I'm like, at this point,
The
it's been
entire
out there long
thing.
enough. You open it up, it's like, it's not even worth washing.
Oh,
Like,
that is the best.
I have. I mean, not often, but I have.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got one?
Am I the only one that worries that I'm not encouraging enough non-screen time? Because I think it's very easy for the kids to have screen time, and I really try and limit, especially during the school year. We really limit it. And as much things as he has to do, sometimes I worry. It's just so easy just to be like, you're doing stuff around the house. Like, yeah. Okay, 10 more minutes on the iPad. Well, 10 more minutes turns into an hour. And you don't realize it. And then I feel guilty because I'm like, oh my gosh,
You're
like
not
I
the only
should have
one.
just
You're not
really
the
been
only
more
one.
forceful
Not the
about
only
it. I
one.
should have been more aggressive, even if it makes him mad.
Listen,
You know.
he's here today, your son Brendan, so he's not going to like me very much with what I'm about to say. I'm sorry. He's not even paying attention.
He's on the iPad.
Appropriately enough, he's on his screen. Just what we've done is strict screen time rules. Like, you get your phone X amount of minutes every day, period, and I take it away. Like, it is not even in your possession.
Yeah.
And then they have to figure out what to do the rest of the time. And they have to go outside and they have to, go over to a friend's house. Because I feel like they're losing that
Yes.
interpersonal connection.
And I know all the kids do it. I see all the kids, when they're all together, or, out in public, and all they do is they're just on the screens or on the phone, sitting side by side. And I mean, I know we grew up differently, but I know it's today's day and age, but it's tough. And sometimes I just feel guilty, for
You're not the only one.
You're not the only
You're
one. You're not the only one.
My son was a counselor at the basketball camp at school, and he says that, some of the other kids who were in charge of whatever he was in charge of were reprimanded because they weren't focusing because they were glued to their phone, and that the coach complimented him because he was on point and focused because he did not have his phone.
Right.
So I think that if we force it, as much as they hate us in the moment, something good is going to come of it.
I agree
and
with
they'll
that.
survive.
Yeah.
they will.
They'll survive.
And
not having it.
Piggybacks to that. Am I the only one who refuses to get my kids a phone until they're 16? Maybe.
I love you.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe.
you're not the only one. That's
Yeah.
my plan.
Yep.
Yes.
My girl has been asking for one since kindergarten, and finally she's like, can I get it at this age, She goes, how about at 16? I was like, 16 makes sense because you'll be driving. That makes sense. Yes, we'll do that.
And when will you allow social media?
That's what I was going to
never.
say.
Like, never.
That's the
I don't,
thing.
it's not even in my realm of thought right
if
now.
you
Like,
need
I
to
won't.
reach them and your kid does not have a phone, this is a mom. Take it from me. Get them a not smartphone. Get them a flip phone so that you can reach them.
Yeah.
And let's make flip phones cool again.
Yes.
Let's make flip phones
They have
the
phones
way to go.
just like that
Right.
look like regular phones.
Smartphones
Yep.
are the death of society.
Yeah.
They are so, and I want to do a whole Maggie and the Moms episode on this. So
We could have a whole series on that.
yeah. And we've talked about it.
And
All
it's
right.
younger and younger. It starts this age.
Well, we only have one more minute. Do we have time for one more funny one?
Yeah.
Yeah, do a quick one.
I don't know if I have another one. That's funny. Oh, am I the only one who's told my kid to just wear a dirty uniform shirt, put it in the dryer, it'll be fine because I forgot to do the laundry?
Oh, no, not at all.
No,
Absolutely not.
You cannot be the only
No.
one in the history of sports and parenting. You
That
cannot
fabric
be the
refresher
only one.
spray, spray
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've done that so many times.
You have?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
My
That'd be
daughter's
fine.
on swim team, so I'm like, the chlorine cleans the swim.
Yes,
No
it does.
stains on it, you know.
The chemical washes it all away.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
There's no stains on it. It's fine. Just no one's gonna know.
Yeah.
It smells good now. You sprayed it.
You're good.
All right, ladies, I think that's it.
Oh
We're
my
not, I
goodness.
think that for all of them, we were not the only ones.
No.
I knew it.
They're all normal.
I knew it. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for being here.
Love
Thanks for
you.
listening and
Yes.
watching. See you next time. I knew it.
I knew it.
I knew it.